The Great Asian Bike Ride has just successfully completed its annual run from Chiang Mai to Phuket in high season conditions of mild weather with extended sunny breaks and nice breezes right in the face and the occasional welcome sprinkle of rain. It's the Tour de Thailand, a magnet for enthusiasts of bicycle riding for health and for fun, and supporters seem to enjoy the trip immensely, all 2,300 kilometers of it, if they go the distance.
We have a core group which are registered riders that come from abroad, countries all over. We have Russians, Germans, French, a lot of Americans, Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders. But those people are registered and we take care of their meals, their accommodations, and everything like that, or at least the sponsors take care of it. And then we have all the local Thai cycling clubs, and we invite them to come out complimentary just to join us and kind of root us on for what we're doing. And so they can participate and it becomes a Thai and foreign event.
Yes. Well, it is noticeably that you have a really good mix of foreigners, visitors, apparently, a good many of them, and Thai riders as well.
Yes.
Including some Thai women, I notice.
Yep. Thai women and children. Generally, the registered riders, we ask them to be 18 years or older because we're taking them on a full package tour. But the day riders, they bring their whole family out. And so we get some really young children coming out and riding part of the way for the day. But, of course, their parents are responsible for them.
Yeah. But what do you do generally, though, for the safety of the riders over such a long distance?
Well, we try and go over some main rules. Of course, we make sure that people wear helmets. But the roads in Thailand outside of Bangkok are not so bad for cyclists. They have nice wide shoulders, and the Thai drivers are used to seeing like people pushing cars on the side of the road, motorbikes on the side of the road, even bicycles on the side of the road. So they're pretty lenient on giving us some space. But what really helps them give us space is the support vehicles. We always have a rear support vehicle and a front support vehicle, and so they see these these cars with bike racks and foreigners, and it's a real eye opener. They kind of freaks them out a bit, and they take notice.
It's not uncommon in the cycling community for a rider to have a physical disability, but still pursue the sport at an elite level. One of the welcoming group in Phuket, for example, is missing his lower limbs.
Cycling's very good with these because you don't have the shock, and so my feet really aren't much of a disadvantage when I'm on a bike.
So is it in any way a race between the riders like the Tour de France is?
Not at all. We don't use any drugs.
Very well said.
This is a group of people who enjoy touring by bicycle, riding their bikes, but really it's to see the country, to meet the people, and to really experience Thailand.
Of course, you're in Phuket when you arrive at the Two Heroines Monument on the way into the city.
Yes, we had a really big group by then, and there was at least 50, 60 riders. And there was a cameraman, a reporter from Channel 11 News in Phuket named Grant Upton. He came up with a brilliant idea, but we had stopped it for a rest stop before the Heroines Monument, and he reminded me that we were coming up on that and said, why don't you do a loop around it? And I thought, oh my God, that would be like a nightmare for traffic. Yeah. But he actually went ahead and asked the police to stop traffic before us. So it was a brief loop, nobody was too upset, and it was really a neat scene.
Yes, indeed. Then you knew you had arrived virtually to destination, which, however, was over one major mountain before you could stop riding.
It's not that bad because it's so short, but it is really, really steep.
It's a very steep mountain.
Yeah, it kind of makes your heart just want to jump right out of your chest.
When you see it up ahead.
Yeah.
It made me wonder, watching you come up over the hill, how well geared are these bikes? And I'm assuming they do have gears.
Yes, I mean, this actually has a really low gear for mountain biking because it's a mountain bike. Most of my bikes are all Treks, and I just like this kind of bike because it's all-terrain, and yet we put some semi-slick tires on it, so the tread is smooth enough to where you can go nice and fast on the roads, but still sturdy enough tire that all the dirt and gravel and little bits of glass and thorns and whatever may be out there don't cause it to get flat tires all the time.
I guess there are endless hazards in that regard too.
Yeah. There's a couple flat tires on our 2,300 kilometer stretch. So.
And did everybody make it safely up to the top of Patong Mountain before going down the other side?
Yeah, that was a big fear because we have a stopping point once we get up there because other words it would just separate us so much before the closing ceremony. And what we do is we stop there. There's a temple on the mountain. We pull over safely to the side. And we wait for everybody to go up. But
it's a moment of triumph anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And people cheer each other on. Yeah. So, but this year, when we were up there waiting, just before we were about to ride down, it started to rain, and that's really a scary thing because when it first starts to rain, the roads get slick, and then we're going really fast, and there's a little bit windy and stuff. So
it's a very windy road.
Yeah, but everybody went really slow and took their time going down the hill, and everybody arrived safely.
Well, did you notice the view on the way down?
That at that point you're watching a little bit of the view, but mostly concentrating on the cars and the people. Yeah, we're doing something that's pretty cool, and it's quite an achievement to ride so far, especially as everyday cyclists. People that just like to ride their bike, not professionals. And so but you can't just go out and do stuff like that without giving back to the community that you're riding through, and letting people know what you're doing. So we've decided to raise money for charities, and local charities at that, because they need it and because we can.
And you handed over a very sizable check.
Yes, this year we raised $450,000, which to me is still a very small amount because the previous year we had raised over $1.5 million. But we had to cut our riders this year due to a change in sponsorship. But we're back on track this year, and we're expecting really big numbers in the coming years.
So Chris, you've done 5 of these amazing tours to Thailand. They're going to keep coming?
Yes, if I have my way, we'll do it each and every year. This was our 5th year, and our 6th year is planned for 2008, December 9th through January 4th. This year we'll go over New Year's and have a little bit of fun there. But new is coming up this July. We have the Tour de Isan, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to start in Bangkok, and we'll take the overnight train to Nong Khai, and then we'll ride our bicycles from Nong Khai to Ubon Ratchathani along the Thai-Lao border in the Mekong River, and it's just spectacularly beautiful there. I can't even speak.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah, I can't even speak just thinking about it. But it's really beautiful. It's technically during the rainy season we might get rained on a little bit, but mostly it's in the evenings and so forth, so we're finished riding by then.
But a little rain must be welcome sometimes when it's hot.
As long as you're sleeping in dry conditions, it really isn't that big of a deal. It cools you off. You just got to remember to keep your bike lubed a little. And
back in France, do you think the Tour de France people know that there's this challenge happening in Asia?
Some people do. We've actually had people who have been on the Tour de Thailand, but they've gone to see the Tour de France, and they've ridden the route behind the tour, and they've wearing their Tour de Thailand jerseys. And so, yeah, a little bit of advertising for us. It's always good.
Word is spreading.
Yes. Yeah, our website's doing a great job of that, too.
The enchantment of Thailand, now amazing the world. Amazing Thailand.